Good morning. Welcome. I bring you welcome and greetings from Orlando, Florida. Our motto is we will honor with action.
Yes.
I am Gina Duncan. I'm the Transgender Inclusion Director for Equality Florida. You might know us. We are the state's largest LGBT advocacy organization, currently with over 300,000 members. About 2.5 years ago, on the Saturday, my phone rang, and it was Nadine. And if you know Nadine just doesn't call you for any reason. So, she said, Gina, what are you doing? I'm going to go get my hair done and my nails. She said, let's have lunch. I said, something's up. So we had lunch, and from that day, we knew that we had to weave transgender inclusion into everything we did at Equality Florida. That was our mission. We knew that the transgender community was emerging and was becoming a national conversation. From Laverne Cox being on the cover of Time magazine, we knew that our mission statement had to be that we ensured that transgender inclusion is the fabric of our lives, to be woven into all that we do at Equality Florida. And we developed a vision that we would work for visibility, awareness, education, acceptance, and equality. To do this, our priorities were many: engagement and advocacy, education, public policy, and health and wellness. The first thing I knew, that we needed a bigger base. We needed to increase our scope and our bandwidth. So we went about forming Transaction Florida, which is a division of Equality Florida. And at this point, we've enlisted 30 articulate, educated, diverse transgender people from all over the state who carries that message in everything we do. From that, we train these people on message and media training, and we formed a Transaction Speakers Bureau, where we could tap into that network and be able to address the good and the bad. Our advocacy involves support of local events, activities, on a reciprocal basis to be able to use the transgender and the Equality Florida infrastructure to get that done. We do, of course, Transgender Day of Remembrance, International Day of Visibility, annual Transgender Allies Summits, and town halls. Education has been a major part of what we do as well. And as of the last month, I'm proud to say that we have trained over 50 major employers in the state of Florida on transgender cultural competence. And it's been a backbone for our public policy work. We've also worked with school boards, healthcare, law enforcement, the TSA, the media, training all of these organizations and agencies, faith communities, and I've spoken at almost every college and university in the state of Florida. School board policy under our public policy initiative has been critical recently, where the crosshairs of discrimination have been firmly pivoted towards the transgender community. So school board work, county, city, human rights ordinances. I'm also very proud to say that over the last 2 decades, Equality Florida now is protecting over almost 60% of our population against discrimination in the areas of housing, employment, and public accommodations. We continue, of course, to work towards the Competitive Workforce Act. And then recently, of course, the rash of anti-transgender bathroom bills. Health and wellness has been a new area that we've branched out into, and we found that our education efforts are organic in reference to moving into other areas. And the health and wellness area has certainly been one. Working on a suicide hotline, crisis centers, HIV/AIDS work, homeless shelters, and local support groups for our transgender people. And then lastly, we're very proud to say that it was a year in the making, but we developed a statewide transgender resource guide, where people all over the state can tap into this resource guide that has over 400 entries in it that talk about trans-friendly services and resources, from hair and makeup to endocrinologists, and they can tap into that resource wherever they go. You know, it's been an amazing 2 years. Florida has come far in reference to transgender inclusion. And I think it's depicted by the most recent studies that show that Florida now ranks number 6 as far as transgender population identifying. And that's a huge increase in reference to where we've been in the past. So I leave you with this. I firmly believe that, and it might not be in my lifetime, but that someday being transgender will have no more significance than being left-handed or being blue-eyed, because after all, that's the way we were born. Thank you.